Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
Well, hello. Thank you for taking time today to cruise in for Car Club Talk. And welcome to our home in the Lone Star Community Radio Studios here in Conroe Tower, right across the hall from Conroe Council City Chambers. Over here is Robert Helmer. I'm Randy Weldon. Yep. And over behind the sound booth window is Dick Schishler. You see him all the way over there?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's here. Okay.
He's here.
Hey, we've got a pretty exciting lineup of guests today. We've got Joel Henenberg, who's the president of the Houston Corvette Club.
Right.
You lined that one up. And then we've got Stephen Adair with All American Muscle.
Right. And they've been around for a while.
They've been around for a while. So they're both in here today. Before we get to the guests, though, if you don't mind, please announce what happened this week with the passing of
we had the passing of Tony Gullo. Like you said, he was a community icon. He's going to be greatly missed. I watched the funeral today on YouTube, and very moving, to say the least. And he lived a really great life, and his kids and his grandkids were up there with testimonials, and it was very moving.
You know, I never saw him without a smile on his face. Ever.
That's the main thing that everybody kept saying. Every time you saw him, he had this smile that, even if you had something to gripe about, he met you with a smile.
Yeah, I remember him telling us he got started in a service station.
Right.
That's the business he started in. And then they started repairing cars and selling cars, used cars.
Right.
And it turned into the empire he's got here in Conroe right now.
And he had a great work ethic. His grandson was talking about his story. They were going to the Super Bowl. He said, "Hey, would you like to go to the Super Bowl with me?" And his grandson said, "Yes." His grandson works at one of the dealerships, the Toyota dealership, I believe it is. And he goes, "I got it all planned. We're going to work Friday. We're going to get on a plane. We're going to go see the Super Bowl, and we're going to be back in time for Monday." So, there was going to be no time lost at work. So, yes.
Yeah. Sounds like a typical car person, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's a shame we've lost him. I think you've got it up on the screen there on his obituary.
Yes.
I don't know anybody that I've ever met to say anything negative about him.
No, there's no.
So he's going to be sadly missed.
Yes. And our condolences to the family, I know.
Absolutely. There we go. I had the ringer turned off, by golly. That didn't work.
So we're at home here at Lone Star Community Radio. Does it feel like the news wore off? We feel like home?
Only with our producer over here.
Oh, okay.
He's way over us already. So, hey, I've got a couple of questions for you, Robert. I went to send an email earlier this week, and I noticed on your personal email it's Robert Helmer.
Okay.
There's a work email.
Yeah, there's a work email,
and that's William Helmer.
Yeah, that's my first name.
So you are an authentic Billy Bob.
Okay. Well, I didn't know we were going there, but
hey, you're always calling me Bubba the Food Sponge, and I know I resemble that, so I don't take offense to it. But if maybe we should change our air names to Billy Bob and Bubba.
No.
Cruisin' Car Talk with Billy Bob and Bubba.
No,
yeah?
I don't see that happening.
We'll have to get the email address, and if people want that, they can send it to Dick and let us know. So
yeah.
We were talking at breakfast last time when we left the studio, and you mentioned to me about getting your first Mustang. And you're not only are you an authentic Billy Bob, you're an authentic Houstonian. You were born here, raised here, you've lived here your whole life.
I don't leave. It's like people ask me, have you gone here, have you gone there? And I'm like, I don't leave Texas.
Well, it's like, you haven't that I know of, but now you're soon to be on the Mustang Club of America board of directors.
Yeah,
you
that's
will
coming
be leaving
up in July 20th.
But you'll be leaving Texas for that, because we don't have shows just here. We've got them all across the country.
Right.
It's going to be a shame when you have to go to Hawaii or Alaska for that, isn't it?
I don't think I've seen y'all go there yet.
No, we haven't. We haven't. But hopefully we will. So being an authentic Houstonian, you grew up at the time Houston, the north side of Houston was down inside the Beltway 8.
Right.
Not too far north of the 610 Loop. So you grew up, you went to Sam Houston High School.
Yep.
And I don't know, it's only a few miles north of what used to be Northline Mall.
Right. I used to ride my bike there as a kid.
To Northline.
To Northline Mall. Yep.
That's pretty astounding.
Yeah.
Especially, you wouldn't do it this day and age, would you?
No, especially when your parents didn't know.
Yeah, a little bit of that going around when you're growing up. When you went to Sam Houston High School, you had to share a car going to and from school.
That was senior year. Yeah.
Yeah. What about junior year? You had a Mustang.
Junior year was my very first Mustang. I had a part-time job and was saving my money, and a classmate come by and had a 67 coupe, said, hey, I'm selling this, like $500 for it, and had a little 289 in it, 3-speed on the floor. And I said, yeah. So bought it. I paid cash for it, and it come back, and my dad come out, and he didn't like it too much. He said, I don't think that car is right for you. And I'm like, well, I bought it. I bought it with my own money. So he said, okay, just be careful. You know, and that was kind of like it. He didn't like it.
But he dealt with it.
He dealt with it, yeah. But that car didn't last very long because that car was raced.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that car was, it got put through a lot.
By your dad, right?
No, not by my dad. But it's seen nights at Rankin Road.
None of us know about Rankin Road.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, okay.
But my second car was a Grand Prix, 77 Grand Prix. But the deal was my mom was working at Sam Houston High School in the office, and the deal was that we had to share this car. And so the deal was I could park in her space at the parking lot, in the teacher's parking lot. So every day it was the same thing. It was like Groundhog Day.
Oh, wait a minute. This is because the two of you rode together.
Yeah, we rode together.
Okay.
Okay, but when it came lunchtime, I would go in to get in the car and go get lunch. I would come back. I would park in the teacher's parking lot, park in the same spot, and I had this biology teacher come out. He was on the 3rd floor. He was military. He had the crew cut going, you know, and he'd hang his head out the window and hollering, "You cannot park there in here." And I'm like, I look up at him and like, it's my mom's parking spot. You know, I said, we do this every day. You know,
so this went on the whole year.
The
for this
whole
guy.
year. It was almost comical, you know, and it was my own. He was in my I was in his 4th period class.
So he was your teacher
He
as well.
was my teacher.
I'm surprised he didn't put you in detention or something.
So it's like, it was just, yeah, comical. Every day we had to go through this. And what was even funnier is he's on the 3rd floor, and I'm yelling. And we do this every day.
From the parking lot.
Yeah, the whole school is listening to this every day. So, yeah.
Did you get in trouble anywhere else other than just with this guy?
No. Senior year, you try not to get any trouble. Yeah.
I've got a different view of that. Okay. But they make exceptions for you your senior year, so.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, I guess we'll bring our next guest in. We need to take a break here in a second, but this is Cruisin' Car Club Talk on Lone Star 104.5 and 106.1. Or for those interested in joining us from around the globe, you can stream us from irlonestar.com. That IR stands for Internet Radio. irlonestar.com on Facebook or on YouTube. That's Robert Helmer. I'm Randy Weldon, and we'll see you in a minute.
We'll be right back.
Audience of One, Wednesdays at 10 a.m. right here on Conroe's 106.1 and 104.5. Listen to the brain droppings of local hosts, me, Andrew Belshner, along with the jewel of Montgomery County radio, Dick Schisler. Topical musings, news stories, oddities, or just weird conversations that we normally have with ourselves, all mixed together with the occasional guest. You can also find us on Facebook, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts.
And we're back with appreciation for you spending time with us to cruise in for Car Club Talk with Robert and Randy. And Lone Star Community Radio, just so everybody knows, is a nonprofit, just like the car clubs are, or most of the car clubs anyhow.
Right.
And you can help by being a sponsor, if you're interested at all, of Cruisin by donating today at lonestar.com/donate. And tell them you'd like to be a sponsor to Cruisin. We'd greatly appreciate it. You can also sponsor the station if you're interested there at all.
Yep. And also just let us know that you like the show.
Right. That would always be nice to know.
Right. We'd love to hear from y'all.
We would. Hey, our guest this segment is it John?
Joel.
Joel Henenberg, who is the president of the Houston Corvette Club.
The Sam Houston Corvette Club.
Sam Houston, excuse me, sorry.
Yeah, you don't want to leave the Sam out.
No, Sam's going to get mad.
Yeah.
That's the high school he went to, Sam Houston.
Yeah.
Very notable.
Yeah.
Robert, I'll let you, you've got some questions lined up for Joel.
I want to give you a compliment. I think your website is great.
Thank you.
I'm looking at all the detail of information. And another thing I'm impressed is y'all got committees.
Yes.
I love it. Y'all are very well formed. And it looks like y'all got a lot of support.
We do. We have a membership right now stands at about 300 members. We're in our renewal phase, actually, right now. The club was established in 1993, so
you've been around.
We've been around for a while, and luckily so. We basically encourage the planned trips and events and social activities for the club. We like to provide regular events for other Corvette enthusiasts, and we promote safe driving on the streets,
right,
especially if you're into sports cars.
Right.
But you should always obey the law.
Yes.
I'm not saying we do, but you should.
Yeah.
We try.
We try.
A little tough every now and then, right?
Right. So again, the club was established in '93. We're a very strong club, and I appreciate the comments on the website.
Yes, it's very informal. I'm seeing also we're having a National Corvette Day.
Yes.
When is that?
So
that's June 30th.
June 30th. That's coming up.
What's y'all's plans for that?
So there are 7 clubs in the Houston area, and we've all partnered together, and we're going to be going down to a place called Garage Ultimate, which is in Friendswood. I don't know. I think we're going to have something like 300-400 Corvettes there on display.
Okay.
The public is welcome to join us, but it's in celebration of the Corvette's birthday.
Right.
So National Corvette Day is June 30th.
All right. Sounds good.
We'll be there from 10 to 2.
Okay. Where's y'all your regular meetings at?
So we hold them down in Spring at the community center, the Christian Community Center down there in Cypresswood. We meet once a month on Saturdays from 10 to 12, and then a group of us just break off and go to lunch. We may go for a ride somewhere.
Okay. What's the best way to join the club?
On our website.
On the website.
SamHoustonCorvetteClub.com.
Okay. All right. I saw that y'all had a show at Papa's on the Lake.
Yes, we did.
And from the photos and everything, it looks like a very successful show.
Yes. So that was our open car show.
Okay.
We had 120 cars.
So you pretty much maxed out that parking lot. That's
We
about
did.
all it can hold.
We did. We did. And in October, we have our big Corvette-only car show down in the Woodlands.
Right.
And we generally host somewhere between 100 and 120 Corvettes there as well.
Okay. Yeah, Papa's on the Lake is one of the greatest venues you could have a car show, I believe.
Absolutely.
I think everybody enjoys that.
Absolutely.
Do you have anything to do with the car show down in Galveston?
We just attend.
Just attend.
You know, we try to support whatever we can. But,
Right.
Again, there are so many Corvette shows and car shows going on, but we do try to support the local
Yeah.
community.
And you said there's seven car clubs.
7 car
Corvette
clubs.
clubs. That's a lot for Houston. Don't
Yeah,
you
for
think?
Houston it is.
Yes.
I don't even think we have that many in Mustang clubs.
There are
I think we got-
7.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. What are y'all charities?
So right now we're supporting Sire. I don't know if you're familiar with
Not
them.
familiar with
but
that.
They're a therapeutic group for veterans, children with disabilities, and it's all done through horses. And they're based in Spring. We also support Children's Safe Harbor. We're in talks right now with God's Garage.
God's Garage. We've worked with them quite a bit. Yes.
Great organization.
Yes, they are.
We're heavily involved with the women's shelter. So during Christmas, we collect toys and all kinds of goods and deliver it to them. So we like to reach out to a lot of our local community charities.
That's good. Tell us about your car.
My car, which one? So I have a 2021 Stingray. It has a Z51 package. It's called Red Mist Metallic.
Okay.
And
how long have you had that?
I actually bought that one in March. A friend of mine found it for me. Strangely enough, it had 2,700 miles on it. And it was only a 2021, and I just couldn't pass it up.
Right.
So I traded in my 14 and picked this one up.
So how many Corvettes have you had?
Three, yeah.
Okay. Let me, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
You mentioned that you hold a car show in the Woodlands, and I know a couple of years. You and I both know a gentleman by the name of Gary Herstein.
Yes, I do.
And Gary had come to me, I think, when he was planning that first show and asked me, I don't remember if it was about somebody that prints T-shirts or whatever.
Right.
But you hold that in the Veterans Park over there? Is that, or at least that's where the first one was held?
It's in Town Green, I believe it is.
Is it Town Green?
It's right in the center, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, but you held that first one, I think, in a park. If
I
I'm not
believe
mistaken.
so. I believe so.
Yeah.
I wasn't there for that one.
Yeah, Gary kind of he plays both sides of that. He's got a Mustang, he's got
does.
a Shelby,
He
and
does.
he's got a Corvette.
He does.
But great guy.
Very nice man.
Yeah.
Very easy to work with. Very accommodating. Great car enthusiast.
Yes, he is.
He's just as crazy about the Corvette as he is about the Mustang. So
He is.
We appreciate that he's a member.
He comes out. We take part. Robert and I volunteer at the Texas Woodland Cars and Coffee. I got it right that time.
Cars and coffee. You got it right.
Yeah, but Gary comes out for that.
The cars
every
have
night.
to come first. That's makes
Right.
it.
Yeah, we get beat up by the gal that
Yeah.
organizes that. So by Dana Pritchard. So
I understand.
Yeah. She likes to set herself alone from everybody else. So it's cars and cars first.
that's right. Let me ask you this: where'd you find your Southern accent? Because it sounds a
Okay.
bit unique.
It is a little unique. I was born and raised back east, New York City.
New York City. I figured you were a little further in the Northeast than that.
Well, I
so.
kind of claim the Bronx as East Texas now, but a lot of people don't go for that.
Yeah.
But I migrated here in 1978. I actually left New York in 1971, lived out in California for 7-8 years, and then came here.
Tony Expedito.
He is Staten Island.
Staten
Staten Island.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
He was in last week with us. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah. He's a Camaro owner. It's in our Mustang Club.
Nice.
I'm seeing also y'all have a mod day. Do y'all actually have where
We
y'all
do.
work on the cars?
So we have a couple of members that have lifts, and we trade off between their houses. So we try to have a mod day once a quarter.
Yeah.
And people just bring their vets, and they need to get worked on. We work on them.
Okay. And the Texas Elite Auto Show, you're all signed up for that?
I believe we are.
Okay. And I see you're going to also be in the Kingwood Car Show on October the 5th.
Yes.
So, and then Cruisin the Coast that y'all have on your events list. Have you done that before?
I have not,
Yeah, that's supposed
but
to
I'm
be
looking
pretty
forward
good.
to it.
Yeah.
We've got a couple of big trips coming up, actually. In, I guess it's September, there's the National Corvette Museum is celebrating their big anniversary. And there's a tremendous caravan that'll be going to Bowling Green. They're expecting something like 8,000 to 9,000 Corvettes there. So we'll be part of that caravan as well.
Is that the same Corvette museum that fell in?
Yes, it is.
the same one.
There's only one.
So it's all been repaired and back to
It's
normal.
been fully restored. They do a phenomenal job
Yeah.
with keeping the legend of the Corvettes, and the cars are on display, and they still have some that were in the sinkhole
Right.
that they've been able to restore fully and bring back to life.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Because that was a big sinkhole. I saw pictures
That
of that.
was a
That
big
was something
sinkhole.
else.
Did they completely repair that, or did they leave one car down in the sinkhole?
I think I think there's one or two that might still be in the sinkhole.
Yeah, they just left them there. I think they
Yes.
covered it with some sort of plexiglass.
I
or
believe
something like
so,
that, you know.
yes.
Yeah, and now you've not been up there before, but I'm sure you've had club members that have made the pilgrimage back to the museum, back to Mecca back there. It's
Yes.
Yeah.
I've been to the museum once, and I'm looking forward to going back. It's just a great venue. They've got a track there. They've just got all kinds of events going on. And if you're inclined and you get a new Corvette, you can actually go to the museum where they make them and pick them up.
yeah, that was my understanding. Right, you
Yeah.
can go there and
Yep.
if I'm not mistaken, the person that signs their name on a car is there with you that actually builds the car.
That I don't know. I haven't had that experience.
Now they don't do that with Mustangs, so we don't have that opportunity.
Mustangs are out in Las Vegas, though, aren't they? Is it the Shelby?
Shelby.
Shelby
here.
American
Right,
out there.
Shelby, America.
Yeah.
You can go out there and pick up your Mustang. Yeah. Okay. What is your longest cruise that y'all done?
Oh, gosh. We did a 21-day cruise that went all the way up to Yellowstone.
Oh, that's great.
We went out west through Utah and came up on the west side, hit Yellowstone, went all through Yellowstone, came back on the east side, and that was like
Well, that's definitely a vacation.
that
there,
was
isn't
like
it?
an 18-day cruise.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So we try to do those every other year.
Yeah. That's something to really look forward to there.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, you get people to take part in an 18-day cruise.
You know, it's absolutely amazing. What amazes me is in April, every April we have what's called our Wildflower Cruise. And last year we had over 50 Corvettes that signed up for it from our club. And to see that string going down
Oh, yeah. It's got to
the
be
roads,
impressive.
I mean, people are pulling over, taking videos
Right.
of all the Corvettes and everything, but it's absolutely amazing. We all go to Kerrville and have a great time, but you know, anytime we mention food or anything like that, next thing we know, we got all kinds of members joining.
Right.
Doesn't matter if it's a 1-hour trip or an 18-day trip.
They just show up.
They just show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
Something
very
like
thankful
that.
to our
I
membership.
imagine the memories and like that. You just can't wait to next year and do it again, right?
Absolutely. In fact, we're not planning stages now for our fall foliage and as well as for our wildflower run.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like y'all really got it together, and like I said, I'm very impressed with what I see as far as the committees and everybody working together and getting this thing going. And yeah, your website's very impressive.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you for having us.
Well, Joel, we appreciate you coming in. Joel Henenberg with the Sam Houston Corvette Club. Got it right that
You
time.
got it right that
All
time.
right, thank you. But we appreciate you taking time to come into the studio. We're going to take a short break, and coming up, we'll have Stephen Adair with All American Muscle. And this is Cruisin' Car Club Talk on Lone Star 104.5 and 106.1 FM. Or for those of you interested in joining us from anywhere on Earth, we can be streamed over the internet at irlonestar.com, on Facebook, or on YouTube. I'm Randy Weldon. This is
Robert Elmer, and we'll be right back. Thank you.
Listen in Mondays at noon to hear Conroe news from local nonprofits, businesses, upcoming events, Conroe Park events, news stories, and information that matters to you with your host, Margie Taylor of Taylorized PR. For more information about being a guest, visit irlonestar.com/Conroe Culture.
We're back again with more Cruisin' Car Club Talk. That's Robert Helmer. I'm Randy Weldon. And on this segment of the show, we've got Stephen Adair of All American Muscle. So we thank you for coming with us and taking part in this segment. Stephen, we appreciate you coming into the studio. All American Muscle. I met you at TWCC at the Woodlands Coffee and Cars, or Cars and Coffee.
Cars and coffee.
Yep.
God, Dana's going to beat me up.
I tell you.
But that's where I originally met you, and then I became a member of All American Muscle. You've had me out a few times and invite me more times I've been out.
Sure.
But tell us a little bit, how did you start that and when did you start that?
Will do. Well, thanks for having me, guys. This is my only second radio podcast interview, so this is kind of cool.
That's,
And it's been a while since I did the last one, so I'm a bit rusty.
we're glad to have you.
Thank you. Yeah, All American Muscle got started around 2010, and we met, I guess it started once a month, and then it moved to twice a month, but as people's schedules and whatnot gets hectic throughout life, we figured out that once a month is really the better balance, because trying to keep up with twice it just doesn't work.
It's a lot of scheduling.
Oh,
isn't
yeah,
it?
for sure. So, we do the second Saturday evening every month, and, well, give or take rain and prior obligations and things of that nature. But typically it's scheduled every month, year-round, because we're in Texas, and it doesn't ever get really that cold. If anything, there are times it might be too hot.
Yeah, too hot.
But yeah, too cold doesn't typically happen for us. So we do it year-round. It started out at the old Kroger shopping center
On
Rayford.
Rayford.
Yes,
Yep.
sir. And we were there for 7 years with the Mexican food place that was there until they closed. Then we had to find a new place, because we like to go and eat and hang out and kind of have like a more than just a car gathering. It's dinner and a car gathering.
Right.
Typically is how we usually plan it out. So we moved to the new Kroger shopping center at Burnham Woods in 99, but it's still second Saturday evening from like 5 to 7, give or take weather and food. Usually we get there a little bit earlier and eat and then hang out after.
It's a lot easier to find you off of 99, isn't it?
It is. We were a little bit more hidden on Rayford, but surprisingly enough, the gatherings were usually bigger at on Rayford. So,
really?
Yeah, which is fairly random. Maybe because of a little bit more shade with all the little trees and whatnot around Ace, or what it used to be Ace. So I say that to say, there's a new Mexican food place being built on Rayford, and we're planning on moving back there and basically doing it back in the same location that we started
okay.
at.
Yeah, it's 2200 or 2211 Rayford Road.
Something like that.
At
Yep.
Kroger Shopping Center.
Kroger
right
Shopping
there.
Center right there at Imperial Drive.
Imperial Oaks
Drive.
Yep.
That's what it is.
Yeah, the main drive into Imperial Oaks.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's been a while since I've been out, but you get together. The cars all you show up. You invite everybody. They show up. You go in. You have a meal. You come back out and hang out. Really, as the sun's pretty much setting.
Sure.
And it makes it a little bit cooler for everybody.
Yep.
But All American Muscle, unless I'm mistaken, there's no dues, right?
It's not really a typical club. I like to say we're a group of like-minded individuals. May or may not have matching shirts and may or may not have matching stickers on the cars, but that's about the extent of it.
Right.
We don't do dues or fees or the typical club structure or anything like that. And it's a come as you are with what you got sort of thing. It's All American Muscle. But we're not real.
Does that mean
strict.
no EVs?
Well, yeah, probably not. We're not big on EVs, but
Come
otherwise,
on, man.
The petrol-powered vehicles.
right.
Yeah,
Real American horsepower.
exactly. Yeah. So, but we get a little bit of everything. We've got some exotics in the group. We've got some imports. One of the guys used to have a hopped-up FRS, had like 800 horse on it. It was ridiculous, and so we get the crazy built stuff to the stock classics and everything in between. So I think the last time I checked, the range of cars was like from 1923 to the current year model, basically. So we do just a little bit of everything.
I've seen some cars out there with some incredible modifications on them.
Yeah.
And some just pretty much stock. You do sell stickers, though, right?
We do.
And some shirts?
Occasionally we have shirts. Occasionally we have stickers. We go through club members that have the ability to do printing and stuff like that. So we don't do big batch stuff, and I don't keep a lot of inventory of either, really. Stickers are easier to come by because it's easier to print up some stickers than it is to do shirts. But it's probably about time for shirts again because we've had some newer, and I say newer, the last 5 or so years, I guess probably 5 or 6 years ago, the last time we did a run of shirts.
And that's the post stickers to go on the passenger side post?
Yep. Yeah, on the window A-pillar
Right.
style, front
Okay.
windshield.
I noticed one of the things y'all do is y'all cruise into certain car shows.
Yep.
I'll see your announcement on Facebook and says, hey, we're going to this, we're meeting here, and we're all cruising together. So that's pretty cool there, too.
We do a fair number of convoys and have for a number of years. And sometimes just us. Sometimes we collaborate with other groups and do bigger events and things like that. Sometimes it's just here local. The first Sunday of every month, is the Cars and Coffee at Market Street. And there's AAMers that go to that one. That one starts a little too early for us to convoy.
5 o'clock in the morning.
So it's the guys that go to that one are doing good just to get there in time. So, but then there's a later show off of Spring Stubner at Noe's Cafe that starts about 10.
Yeah.
That's put on by Torch, and we usually convoy to that one. We'll meet at.
We're actually seeing a shift at Cars and Coffee. People are there at 6 o'clock in the morning, and they park. They stay there for about 2 hours, and then we see the shift of people leaving and another shift of people coming in.
Nice.
So
that way the latecomers can come in and have a spot.
Right.
Yeah,
the latecomers come in, and the other people are leaving saying, hey, there's another one down the street somewhere
Sure.
that they're going to it.
Sure.
It's become exactly that. It's early shift, late shift.
Nice.
You know.
Yeah.
And I wish I could come in on the late shift.
Right. Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Like you did today.
yeah. I wasn't that late today. I still made it before it was over.
Nice.
Hey, I was on a convoy with you guys one time. We went down to like Rosenberg or
yeah,
Richmond.
yeah.
One of the two out there.
They
the
used to do
fairgrounds.
it was like a Memorial Day show down there.
Yeah, it was Danny Dietz
Yep.
Memorial.
Yeah, that was
car
a
show.
fun show, and because the show down there was pretty slick. Because they always did something random. They had a cowboy contest with like the cowboy style revolvers and the clay bullet. It's like clay simulated bullets, and they would like do time drawing and shooting events and stuff like that, and cook-offs, and it was a really, really cool show. And then it just kind of, the car show part of it just kind of fizzled out, and I'm not sure what happened there.
I know Ray Webb put that on for a while, and then Ray retired.
Maybe that's what happened.
And in the handoff, I think it started, got lost a little bit.
Yeah,
it's hard to keep that going.
Oh
so.
yeah,
That was quite a drive, too. though.
It's a heck of a drive, and it's the holiday weekend, and so it's hard to commit to that.
Yeah, it was Memorial Day weekend.
Yep.
Yeah, they had the barbecue cook-off. I got drug into that as a judge one year.
Oh yeah.
So,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's where I met Marcus Luttrell.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
The story about Marcus Luttrell, he's standing there, and I didn't know who he was. I just got through watching the movie, and J.J. Watts is walking around. Okay?
Very cool.
I'm sitting there next to Marcus Luttrell, and I'm like, oh, I see the camera people here from Channel 2 News. And I said, they must be looking for J.J. Watts. No, they were looking for Marcus Luttrell.
Nice.
So it's like, okay. I felt that tall when the
course
camera
you
crew
did.
come up there and they said, oh, this is Marcus. Oh, my God.
Nice. Yeah. It happens. It happens to the best of us.
Did they have his Mustang out there?
They had his Mustang out there. He was sitting right next to his Mustang. I was complimenting on his Mustang. Beautiful car. And he uses that for charity now. He has a foundation that the car tours the country with.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's his cousin James Webb out of Fort Worth that drives that Mustang
Nice.
and takes care of that Mustang. So
Very cool.
Do you have a favorite show that y'all like to go to?
That we used to go to when that one stopped happening on Memorial Weekend. There was another one that sprang up that was Go Wheels Up in San Marcos, and we went to that one 3 or 4 years in a row. Corey Morrow put it on. It was a car show, air show, concert all together over the weekend, and that was a blast.
Yeah.
And there was all sorts of things to do. It was at the San Marcos Airport, so they had the hangars there with airplanes, and there's an air museum there, like a smaller air museum there at the airport, and so it was pretty slick.
Yeah.
And we had a blast going to that one a handful of years in a row, and then Corey changed the idea of how he was doing it, and it went from the weekend to one day, and then now it's another one that just kind of disappeared.
yeah.
So I'm hoping maybe it comes back, but I haven't heard from Corey lately, so we'll see.
Yeah.
See how that works
Your
out.
group has been around for quite a while. What is the largest you've seen it?
Well, I mean,
members.
on Facebook we got 1,100 members, give or take. But that's
That's on Facebook.
Facebook, and that's across the U.S.
Yeah.
The majority of our core is between I would say Oklahoma and Galveston, north to south, and maybe Lake Charles to San Antonio. That's the main part of our group. And at any given weekend, on a good weather weekend, which we haven't had in a minute, but on a good weather weekend, we get somewhere between 10 and 20 cars at our Saturday evening gathering.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, Texas can be such a tough place with the weather. It's like it's either too dry or it's too wet, or at least southeast Texas.
I left to come here, And it was dry at the house, and Matt said everything was great, and got in the truck and came here, and it's raining buckets at 2:42.
Oh, man.
Everybody doing 20 mile an hour. I didn't know if I was going to get here in
Yeah.
time.
Oh,
That's Texas weather.
That's a tough drive coming up from the South County, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, tell us about some of your cars. I know the big truck with the spikes on it. You've got the dually out there.
I've got, and then if you go to the All American Muscle Cars Facebook group, it's in all caps, and the banner picture actually has the dually on it, and that's how you'll know you found the right page. And everybody's welcome to join. You click join. There's a couple of questions, and it weeds out the spammers and some of the junk mail sort of thing you get with typical Facebook nowadays. But the 85 dually we've had for since 06. I got it December 06, something like that, and just kind of little by little kept adding to it. And I can't fit a Peterbilt in my garage, so this is as close as I can get.
Or
so
you'd have one.
I would. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I've got truckers on both sides of the family, and so I grew up with that and the big rig, like the love for big rigs and big trucks and stuff like that. So it's an 85 dually with 10 lug wheels on it, and it's got Peterbilt stacks as side pipe exhaust down the side of it.
so is it lowered with the bags?
No. It's
no.
stock height.
Stock height.
And we had a Camaro that I put bags on, and actually it wasn't even for car show reasons. It was a IROC body style Camaro that had that big old long nose on the front of it. And the place I was working at the time, both the employee driveway had such an incline to it that you couldn't get in and out of that driveway without ripping the nose off of that car. And I had the dually at the time, and I had the Camaro, and that Camaro was a 6-speed LT1, and that dually is a big block with a granny 4-speed no overdrive. So the gas mileage difference between the two is night and day. So I was like, well, I could save a lot of money if I could drive the Camaro to work. Well, it wouldn't fit in the parking lot, so we went airbags. And needless to say, that was my one and only airbag car. I've been down that road, and I know the fun and the headaches that go with airbag cars, and now I'm done.
Yep, they leak.
Yes,
they
do.
leak.
Compressors and lines and bags are a never-ending replacement.
Sound like his old Eleanor body kit he had, where he used to rip the front nose
Front
off of
bumper
it every
off
few
of it.
months.
Yeah.
I must have painted that thing about 4 times.
Yeah.
It was a inch and a half off the ground, and the only people I know that still has theirs today has airbags on them. So
getting
they
in and
lift
out
it
of
up to go
driveways.
drive around on a daily basis, and then when they get to the car show, they lower it.
Yep. Yeah.
So-
It helps with usability and getting in and out of places and speed
Yeah.
bumps and stuff
But
like that.
it's
but
very expensive.
it's expensive, and it's a continual effort just to
Just
keep it.
maintain it.
Yep.
Yeah. So on this on your dually, which you call BFE,
BFT.
BFT.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll let everybody's imagination run with that one as to what it is. But have you seen it?
No.
Oh, it's like Ben-Hur. I mean, when I say he's got spikes coming out, he's got
Yeah.
spikes coming out all over this thing. So you kind of clear the sidewalks.
Reminds you of the chariot race, huh?
It does. It reminds you of the chariot race.
So you don't want to get too close to it, I guess.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, got those spikes, man. So you've got that. You've got a Cadillac.
The
you've got some
wife's
Mopar
Cadillac,
products.
Yeah. Wife has the first gen CTSV. It's a 6-speed car. That's how it came. That's her first stick car, and it's she's had it since brand new. Waited 6 months. Ordered it from a drawing, sight unseen, and she's had it for forever. And she will not part with that car. We've had conversations before, and no, she has a wants list that continues to grow. But that car.
Well, what's the horsepower of that?
It was stock around 400.
Right.
Because it's a naturally aspirated LS6 from Cadillac, and when it first came out, nobody knew what it was. It was
Right.
It was interesting taking it to car shows because people didn't believe that it was an LS rear-wheel drive 6-speed car from Cadillac, and back before V Series was a thing, and now it's they make everything in a V Series now from Cadillac, so
Right.
it's commonplace.
Yeah. On your if I'm not mistaken, within your family, your dad was into cars.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Your brother's into cars.
Yep.
Your mother-in-law
Yep.
as well.
Yep.
So I mean, it's a family thing.
It's
You just kind of
definitely
like married into it.
It's a family thing for sure, and it's funny when Dad's got a STSV and Danielle has a CTSV. So there's and they're both black cars with lighter color wheels. Dad's are chrome and hers are silver. Dad's Cadillac says Cad Dad on the license plate.
That's right. Yeah.
And my mother-in-law has a yellow Challenger RT 2017, and it says Mom's RT on the license plate of the Challenger. So when the four of us bring cars out somewhere, they think that they're husband and wife. I'm like, no, that's my dad and her mom. Like, they're not. Yeah, that's not how the relation works.
Last time I was out there at the Kroger's, y'all had quite a bit of Mopars.
We've gotten a heavier influence, I guess you could say, of Mopars lately. And
Right.
it wasn't really planned. It's just kind of how it happened.
That's how it happened.
How it happened. Partly because my mother-in-law was the first one to get a Challenger and loved that car, but it's only an RT, and it needs just a little bit more power for me to be, happy with it on my scale of things. Perfect for her. It's a fantastic car. It's a fantastic daily driver. But then we started looking around and thought, well, maybe we'll get a Demon.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't start that idea until way too late in the game.
I take it if he gets a Prius, he's out of the family.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Prius is not cool. So we ended up with a Challenger Hellcat Red Eye, the first year, 2019, and it's plum crazy purple with the flat black across the
And a
hood.
fast car, right?
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I expected it to be a race car. 797 horsepower. I warned Danielle when we went to go get it, because we went to just south of Corpus to pick it up, a little dealership down there. And I told her, I was like, look, it's 800 horsepower race car. Like, it's going to be hot. We're just breaking it in. We may have to have their AC off part of the way. I don't know. Just be ready for it to be a rough ride home.
Yeah. Is it like learning how to drive all over?
That car is fantastic. It's the most well-rounded car.
Yeah.
It does everything. You can take it to the grocery store because it's got a huge trunk. You can take it to Dallas and put 3 people in it. The back seat is usable, even though it's a 2-door coupe. It's the only American coupe that will sit 4 people semi-comfortably. I mean, you don't want somebody 6'2" trying to sit in the back, but if you're under 6 foot, you can fit in the back just fine.
Yeah.
And as long as you stay out of that right pedal, it's a mild-mannered car.
That's hard to do, though, when you get behind the car with that much horsepower for the first time.
Yeah.
It's like, it just blows you away. It's like, man, you know if you can handle this thing.
It can get real stupid real fast.
Yeah.
We've had traction control off one time, and that was enough to turn it back on. And Dodge has done it well enough to where you can get squirrely with it even with traction control on.
Yeah.
So they've made it relatively user friendly to where you can enjoy it but not wrap it around a tree.
I think that's part of the problem with all these Mustang videos. Everybody's like, hey, another Mustang in the dust, It's because they get on them with the traction control, I think, on still. And the traction control takes control of the car, and the driver's not knowing what to do. And I don't think they know to turn that thing off. I think that's half the problem of all these videos you're seeing.
Yeah, maybe.
No comment on that.
I don't have a Mustang, so I don't know what to tell you. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're looking at a couple guys that do. So,
Yeah, for sure. Sure.
Steve, why don't you stay in here with us? We're gonna let's talk, Robert, about the top 10 selling cars at
Yeah, you may be surprised.
So, what information do you have on that? It looks like you printed some stuff.
Yeah, here we go. Well, how many of them are Mustangs?
Probably the majority of them.
That's 5 out of the 10.
5 out of 50% of them.
50%. And this is at Mecum Auction. The top 10 cars that sold for the top price. And we're going to go with number 10 right now. It's going to be the 429 Mustang Boss. What year is this one? Looks like
About
it's
a
69.
69,
69. Yeah.
That's
The
a
Boss
rare
429 is a special car.
Yeah, it
man.
sold
Very
for
rare.
$275,000.
That's an
So-
investment on that one.
Yeah. And
When
let's see.
they built that engine back in the day, if they were going to race an engine in NASCAR, they had to build a production version of it. And that 69 and 70 of the first 2 years of that 429. So that's what makes it so special and what makes it so valuable.
Yeah. And number 9 comes as the Pontiac Trans Am, 73. It sold for $286,000. I don't know if y'all remember when these came out.
Oh yeah,
I
I was a big Firebird guy back then.
I had a next door neighbor that ordered his, and
Nice.
it just blew me away. He was sitting there with the owner's I don't know if it was called the owner's manual. He had the brochure
Yep.
for about 6 months, and we just looked at it every day until it finally got there.
Yep.
So it's like, I remember this car.
At 73, that might be the last year of the 455.
Yeah.
Yeah, was it?
Yeah, it is. It's 455 Super Duty.
Yep. That was a big motor for that little car.
It was. Yep.
And then number 8, my favorite, the GT 500 KR. It's 68. Beautiful car, like the Eleanor. And this car here is actually the orange, so it's my favorite color. And sold for $291,000.
Wow. Not very many of those made either.
No, there's not.
Not very many. Oh.
Let's see. Number 7, 69 Mustang Boss 429. This one here, it's white, came and it sold for $380,000. So, yeah, these
Limited options, I guess, on that one?
Yes. Let's see. This one was let's see. Well, 429.
Probably wasn't a whole lot of them in white either. That's a rare combo.
That's right. I know where production number 1 sits here in Houston.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it's in pristine
Let me see if
condition.
they got the production
imagine.
numbers.
Just to be standing beside that and get your picture taken with it is a
Something else.
highlight of your day, I
Oh,
promise.
for sure.
And number 6, the Plymouth Cuda convertible. This one
man.
reminds me of Nash.
Mm-hmm. Nash Bridges.
Nash Bridges, the
Yeah.
show. He had a beautiful one that was orange or yellow.
Yellow and
Yeah.
black. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he'd drive around in that, and that was a beautiful car. This one here sold for $352,000. The 340 Cuda 4-speed convertible. So
That Cuda was a special car.
Oh, for sure.
number 5, and we're back to the 69 Trans Am. The white blue stripes. Now, I know this is rare. This is like 10 they only made. 9 of these are out the door with a standard 400 Ram Air, 335 horse. So, what's even more rare than this coupe is the 69 Trans Am convertible.
Yeah.
I think they've made like only 2 or 3.
Something like that.
So, yeah, this would be great to have for investment
Oh,
wise.
for sure.
So,
I saw one at Autorama that claimed to be real, but it's so hard to tell nowadays.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
and then the number 4, and this car, the Daytona 500. You know, some people like them, some people don't. It's the big wing on the back.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and I actually saw these in the dealers when I was a little kid.
Oh, when they
Nice.
were new.
Yeah.
Nice.
And one thing, Chrysler was really experimenting with stuff with the color, the paint. And one I saw at the dealer had the flowery vinyl top.
Oh, wow.
So I don't know if you ever seen those
Yep.
before
Well, not on that car. I've seen one on a Stinger.
on the
Yeah.
Stinger. Yeah, and that was something they did. They didn't stay around long, maybe a year or 2. That's all they did that.
Yeah, there's a guy in town that's got a Stinger with one with the flowery top like that on it, black
Yeah.
with the pattern in it.
Still has it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I saw one a couple months ago, and I didn't realize it was a real thing. And that's when I learned about it. And he told me I met the guy that owned the car. Told me all about it. It was pretty impressive. Yeah.
They only made 503 of those in '69, and this one sold for $396,000. Yeah, 440, 375 horse, V8 engine.
You got to have a whole lot of garage to fit that thing in there.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to look up what the length is on it because I can't remember, but they are ridiculously long with the.
Well, they'd put that
nose cone
on
in
the
front, yeah.
and then the wing on the back. So
yeah.
And a lot of people are either taking the nose cone off or putting the nose cone on. You can, I think it's the Coronet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you have like a regular Coronet, they can put the nose cones on and make it look like a Daytona.
Right.
And a lot of people don't like the nose and they'll take it off.
Yeah.
So, okay, and our number 3 car is a '69 Fastback Mustang, the Eleanor, and it's got the whole Eleanor kit here on it, and it sold for $456,000.
you know he throws that out nonchalantly, 456.
No big
because
deal.
it's pocket change
Yeah,
for
it's
him.
pocket change. Yeah,
Nice.
and I'd love to have one of those.
Oh yeah.
And the number 2,
Yeah, Chip Foose designed that car for the movie. The Eleanor. Chip Foose.
Oh, Foose.
Yep.
Yeah.
For the Gone in 60 Seconds movie?
Yeah. That's what sparked the re-interest in that.
Yeah. And there's a whole industry right now in Oklahoma that builds nothing but Gone in 60 Seconds Mustangs.
They a place in Oklahoma started building them. That's cool.
Yeah.
There was a place in Dallas that did it, and they got shut down by the feds for washing titles. And they came in there and seized everything. And like they had half-built cars, complete-built cars, motors on engine stands, toolboxes, everything got seized, and they put it all up for auction.
Interesting.
And yeah, it was an interesting deal. And apparently the people that were under the owners that were involved had no idea that the owners were going out to junkyards, getting these Mustangs that were titled as salvage cars. And now, granted, when they got done, it was a fantastic car. They basically replaced everything, but that didn't change Texas law. You can't take a car that's been deemed as totaled and then sell it as a new, clean title car.
Yeah, well, I think the ones in Oklahoma, they're actually the whole body and everything's completely refabbed. It's brand new.
They've got it now where you can buy the whole thing.
The whole body.
Yep. They don't have to start from old to rebuild it anymore. Yeah.
And the number 2, 65 Shelby GT 350. It's a great car. I love those. $495,000.
What can you say? It's the original conversion of the secretary's car, right?
Exactly.
You know.
And we all know what the 350 stands for, right?
We do know what it stands for.
What's that?
It's the steps between the office and the shop.
Or the house and the shop or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Huh.
You didn't know that?
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it doesn't stand for any type of horsepower or anything other. It was just how many steps it took him to get from the
Carol
house
Shelby's
to the
like,
shop.
it doesn't matter what the name is, guys, because they can
shop.
figure out what to name it. He's like, so he just walked how many steps, counted the steps. He said, we call it a GT 350.
Nice.
You know, it's 350 paces from one end to the other.
That sounds like something Carol would do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, number 1, maybe it'll be a surprise, but it's a 1970 Chevelle SS convertible. And this one, for some reason, sold for $660,000.
Big block car.
Yeah.
Come on, man. You know yourself that was a special car back in the day.
Yeah.
We all know that.
I had a neighbor that had this. It wasn't a convertible, but it was a 70 with a big block in it, and he burned starters up like every week.
Wow.
For some reason, the starters were constantly going out, and after about a year or two, he just got tired of that and got rid of the car.
That's back before they had mini starters. It's too close to the headers and got too hot.
Got too hot.
Yeah.
Probably so, yeah.
So that's the top 10 at Mecum Auction. And
All right,
5
well-
out of the 10 Mustangs.
I think time for us to kind of start exiting the show, but Stephen Adair, we appreciate you being here with All American Muscle and talking about the club a little bit. And, taking time to come into the studio today. I mean, it wasn't really that easy to get here because of the traffic coming up this time of day.
Made it happen.
And again, let them know where they can find him.
Sure. It's All American Muscle Cars in all caps for the Facebook page. And the email is the same, allamericanmusclecars@gmail.com if you want to send me an email. I don't really send out email updates anymore because that takes a whole lot of effort.
Right.
I just have too much stuff going on to send out email updates. But I do respond to emails if you have questions or comments or whatnot, or if you're not on Facebook. And then I'm going to start this year, I'm going to start posting the events that we go to and convoys that we do, things like that, as part of the story on my Arrive with Adair at Instagram handle, Arrive with Adair.
Okay.
So that's my chauffeur business I have on the side.
So you're close friends with Dana Pritchard, so maybe you can look at the camera over here and say, hey, Dana, you got to come up here and do one of these programs with these guys.
We got to have you.
It's your turn, Dana. Yeah. You gotta come in.
Well, Stephen, thanks for being here. I think that's it for this episode of Cruisin' Car Club Talk. I'm Randy Weldon.
Robert Helmer
over here hosting also. And way over there in the sound booth is our sound engineer / producer, Dick Shishler. He's not amused by that, at the least. You notice that, right? We are broadcasting from the studios at Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 FM and 106.1, and streaming worldwide at irlonestar.com, on Facebook, and on YouTube. We look forward to spending time with you on the next episode of Cruisin' Car Club Talk.
And we'll see you next time.